Okay, so on that note, this is one thing that I don't think people understand, and then you have the propaganda of the news media and the anti-Semitism and the Palestinian point of view. But can you speak to the reality of what happened? Pastor Steve did a really good job in the prophecy update going into some of the details. But for people that don't know, when we're talking about the October 7th attack, I put it into personal terms, right? So I'm here in the Tri-Cities, Washington of America, and if dudes came across our border and kidnapped people, killed babies, raped women in the streets, took my wife, cut her breasts off, and start kicking around like soccer balls. I mean, we're talking about that type of brutality. If that happened, I think there would be a totally different response and understanding. And, to put it on a personal level, me and all my hombres that I know would be rising up and going after these guys. And so you have that as the reality of the situation, that when you're talking about, ceasefire, what you guys want the war to continue to happen, why do you want it to stop, why are you targeting civilians, and they go on down this list, is the reality is you're trying to prevent terrorists from coming in and doing what they did. And now I'm not going to bring this or ask you to speak about this, but I know you had a niece go missing.
Yep.
Right? And so could you just speak to that subject for people that don't understand?
First of all, I must tell you that I'm not surprised. I'm not surprised. I think it's the peak of the hypocrisy that Israel judged in double standard for a long time already. And I always say that if anyway we double we judge in a double standard, at least we do what we need to do. And exactly as you described it, that's what's happened after this terrible event. And there is something that I think connected directly to anti-Semite. There is something that directly connected to the fact that this is the Israelis. Because if we'll take, for example, these terrible cases of rape young girls in the kibbutzim, in this Nova nature party, the New York Times have an investigation that took about 2 months. They coming with 30 evidence of those kind of brutal sexual violence and rape. And we didn't hear nothing from all those very active, of being cynical, women organization that were very active during the Me Too revolution, targeting every Hollywood producer that have some kind of inappropriate action in a hotel in Hollywood. But there was silence over there. For about 2 or 3 months, we didn't hear any one of them. We didn't hear the UN. And probably it's okay when it's come to Israelis and Jews. And I'm not surprised. I must tell you, I'm not surprised. I see all those demonstration all over the world, which just hatred. Because as you mentioned, if this kind of event happened in any other country in the world, nobody doubt their right to defend themselves. When it's come to Israel, you get all those demonstrations that called from the river to the sea, which about 70% of the participated don't know what they're talking about.
Yeah. Yeah, so can you speak to you use the words right to defend yourself. And so this is a war. You're going after a terrorist organization. For Americans, when 9/11 happened, we invaded a country to go get these guys, and everyone was in full support because of what happened. And so for the processes that you're going through militarily to go after Hamas, can you just speak to that reality and some of the attacks and allegations against you because of that situation, if that makes sense?
Look, I think the IDF is doing really a huge efforts, even in the price of IDF soldiers that were harmed and killed. not to harm any civilians. The Hamas doing the opposite. The Hamas, when we called the people of Gaza to evacuate themselves from the northern part of Gaza, the Hamas stopped them by shooting them. And
You mean they were trying to leave?
they trying to leave, and they didn't want them to leave.
Right.
And the Hamas actually used the civilian population as a human shield.
Right.
And again, I think it's belonged to this double standard that they judge Israel.